evening and good to have you with us on this edition of the Urban Debate. We continue with our big focus on the students' examinations. Yesterday came the big decision where CBSE first cancelled the Class 12 board exams, then came ISC, and now more and more states are also taking this decision of cancelling the 12th board exams in the light of the COVID scenario. Madhya Pradesh is one of them. Gujarat has done so as well. And we now know that in Maharashtra, similar recommendation has been sent to the Disaster Management Board that's now going to be deciding. Now, this is what is happening. As far as several other states are concerned, it's still pending. Bengal Expert Committee will decide on exams. It will submit a report in about 3 days. Uttarakhand, though, has cancelled the Class 12 board exams. Maharashtra will take a decision. Goa will also take a decision in consultation with various stakeholders. Tamil Nadu will seek opinion from experts as well in the next 2 days. Gujarat has cancelled. Uttar Pradesh says they will take some more time before deciding because the situation is evolving and that needs to be assessed. Madhya Pradesh, though, had a very different stand till a couple of days ago where they said exams need to be held, have now gone ahead and cancelled their exams. And so as Haryana. Karnataka is yet to take a decision. So as you can see, effectively what I'm trying to tell you is that different states are at different stages. Some have cancelled, others haven't. Nobody really has any plan on how exactly are they going to be assessing the Class 12 students for the year gone by, for what they have studied, for the way they have performed, what's going to be the evaluation system. We don't know. That decision will come. There is another big issue, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. What about the college admissions? What's going to be the criteria that the colleges will now use to assess a student's capabilities, a student's performance, and whether the student is good enough to fit in their college? Some of the experts have suggested a merit-based admission over entrance exams. Others are saying, well, bring in a standardized subjective evaluation criteria. But there are many different options. Many of the parents and students are concerned about the high cutoffs that are usually there in universities like the Delhi University, and now what happens to those who are hoping to get 99% and getting into a college of their choice? What really happens? We're going to discuss all of that and the way forward for college admissions. But first up, we have to know, how will the students be assessed for this year? So let's say good evening to Mr. Anurag Tripathi, Secretary of the CBSE, who is joining us tonight on the Urban Debate. Mr. Tripathi, always good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us. Everybody is waiting to hear from you, Mr. Tripathi, on what will be the criteria basis which they will be judged. When will that happen?
थैंक यू। सबसे पहले मैं आपके चैनल के माध्यम से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री, एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर एंड मिनिस्ट्री को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि जो ये बच्चों के लिए लंबे समय से एक तनाव का कारण बन रहा था वो खत्म हुआ और सीबीएसई ने निर्णय लिया कि हम परीक्षाएं निरस्त करते हैं। ये एक ऐसा टाइम था जो पैंडेमिक का समय था। ये निर्णय हो भी नहीं पा रहा था कि परीक्षाएं कब संपन्न होंगी। लगातार परीक्षाएं पोस्टपोन भी की जा रही थी और उससे बच्चे भी परेशान हो रहे थे कि जो परीक्षा फरवरी में होनी थी, मार्च में होनी थी, वो अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई एक्सटेंड होती जा रही। वो बच्चों के लिए भी पैनिक, बच्चों के स्वास्थ्य को लेकर के भी एक खतरा था कि इतनी बड़ी संख्या में बच्चे स्कूल में आएंगे और ये परीक्षा कोई एक दिन की, 1 घंटे की नहीं होती है। परीक्षाएं 5 दिन, 7 दिन, 10 दिन चलती हैं, महीने भर चलती हैं, 2 महीने चलती हैं। तो पहले तो मैं ये धन्यवाद दूंगा टॉप अथॉरिटीज को जिन्होंने ये निर्णय लिया और आज हम इस स्थिति में है। अब हम बिना परीक्षा कराए हुए बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स को लेते हुए बच्चों के रिजल्ट देने का प्रयास करेंगे। दूसरा जो सीधा प्रश्न आपका है कि 12th के रिजल्ट हम किस तरीके से देंगे, क्या क्राइटेरिया होगा, मैं फिर बच्चों को, पेरेंट्स को, टीचर्स को ये बताना चाहूंगा कि थोड़ा दिन उन्हें इंतजार करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि ये डिस्कशन चल रहा है। हम क्राइटेरिया बनाने जा रहे हैं, हम उसके पैरामीटर्स बना रहे हैं और इसमें कुछ समय लग सकता है। उस पर विशेषज्ञों की राय भी ली जाएगी, स्कूल्स एक्सपर्ट्स की भी राय ली जाएगी कि हम किस तरीके से क्राइटेरिया फिक्स करें जिससे बच्चों का रिजल्ट जस्ट एंड प्रॉपर हो। तो थोड़ा सा समय लगेगा, वेट करें बच्चे, किसी तरह का तनाव नहीं लें और किसी तरह के र्यूमर पर ध्यान ना दें। हम अपनी वेबसाइट पर वो क्राइटेरिया अपलोड करेंगे। आज की डेट में अभी वो क्राइटेरिया फाइनल नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए मैं जोर देकर ये कहना चाहता हूं कि आप इंतजार करें और हम जैसे ही फाइनल होगा हम अपनी वेबसाइट पर अपलोड करेंगे। 10th का क्राइटेरिया ऑलरेडी सर्कुलेट हो चुका है, वेबसाइट पर अपलोड किया जा चुका है और बड़ा बड़ा खूबसूरत तरीके से उसको बनाया गया है, जिसमें हम लोगों ने 8 मेंबर की कमेटी बनाई है। प्रिंसिपल उसको चेयर करेंगे। उस कमेटी में बाकी 7 मेंबर में सेम स्कूल के लोग भी होंगे, दूसरे स्कूल के लोग भी होंगे। बच्चों के प्री बोर्ड को लेकर, मिड टर्म को लेकर, यूनिट टेस्ट को लेकर, प्रीवियस परफॉर्मेंस को लेकर के भी कमेटी विचार करेगी और एक क्राइटेरिया देते हुए बच्चों के मार्क्स को अपलोड किया जाएगा जो जस्ट एंड प्रॉपर होगा और बच्चों को किसी तरह की दिक्कत नहीं होगी। तो 10th का डिसीजन हो चुका है, 12th का निर्णय अभी आना बाकी है। तो वेट करें, कोई एंटीसिपेट नहीं करें, हम जल्दी से जल्दी उसको सर्कुलेट करेंगे।
क्या फैक्टर्स ध्यान में रखे जाएंगे त्रिपाठी जी? मतलब हम अलग अलग लोगों से बात करते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स में भी काफ़ी अलग अलग विचार हैं, पेरेंट्स में, एकेडमिशियंस में, एक्सपीरियंस वालों की किस तरीके से इवैल्यूएट किया जा सकता है कि अब ये पिछला पूरा साल ही अलग था, रेगुलर स्कूल क्लासेस प्रैक्टिकल्स रेगुलर लेवल पे तो नहीं हो पाए। सो 10वीं 11वीं 12वीं सबको फैक्टर इन करने का कोई विचार है या डिस्कशन हुआ है, या सिर्फ 12वीं में जैसा इंटरनल असेसमेंट हुआ है उससे डिसाइड करेंगे? क्या ऑप्शंस आपके डिस्कशन में आए हैं?
मैं फिर अपना वही उत्तर आपको दोबारा देने का प्रयास करूंगा कि अभी ये फाइनल नहीं हुआ है कि 12th के बच्चों के रिजल्ट में कौन सा क्राइटेरिया फॉलो किया जाएगा। हम लोग उस सिचुएशन में हैं, अभी डिस्कशन चल रहा है, अंडर कंसिडरेशन है। इसके बाद बहुत सारी स्टेक होल्डर से कंसल्ट किया जाएगा और उसके बाद वो क्राइटेरिया हम सर्कुलेट करेंगे। तो आज की डेट में मैं यही कहूंगा कि अभी उसका निर्णय अंतिम नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए वेट करें बच्चे, और जैसे ही फाइनल डिसीजन होगा हम क्राइटेरिया सर्कुलेट करेंगे। लेकिन हम इतना जरूर अश्योर करते हैं, ये किसी भी तरीके से किसी भी बच्चे के लिए नुकसानदायक नहीं होगा, क्योंकि ये क्राइटेरिया इतने सारे पैरामीटर्स को लेकर के चलेगा कि फाइनली बच्चों ने जो साल भर पढ़ाई की है, जो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस है, जो उनकी मेहनत है, वो उनका रिजल्ट एकदम उसके अकॉर्डिंग होगा और सही होगा। दूसरा, कोई बच्चा अगर उस रिजल्ट से असंतुष्ट होता है और उसको लगता है कि मैं इससे बेटर कर सकता था, अगर परीक्षाएं होती तो शायद मैं इससे ज्यादा अच्छा परिणाम दे सकता था, ऐसे बच्चे जो उससे सेटिस्फाई नहीं होंगे, जब कोविड सिचुएशन नॉर्मल होगी तो वो ऑप्शन दे सकेंगे और उनका एक स्पेशल एग्जाम हम करा सकेंगे। वो उसके बाद होगा, लंबे समय के बाद होगा। तो दोनों दरवाजे हमने खुले रखे हैं। तो मैं फिर यही रिपीट करूंगा, 10th का डिसीजन हो चुका है, 12th के लिए इंतजार करें, और अगर कहीं किसी तरह से किसी बच्चे को लगता है कि इनजस्टिस होगी या हुई है, तो उसके लिए हमारे पास दूसरे अवेलेबल उपाय हैं, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे।
चलिए, तो दो और एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स है जिसके बारे में मैं आपसे बात करना चाहती थी। एक तो ये कि कल स्टेटमेंट में ये भी कहा गया कि जो बच्चे बाद में एग्जाम लेना चाहें उनको वो ऑप्शन भी दिया जाएगा, लेकिन ये डिसीजन लेने से पहले किसी भी बच्चे को ये जानना होगा, स्टूडेंट को, कि कब तक ये ऑप्शन रहेगी। मतलब हम सितंबर तक वेट करेंगे कि उसके पहले या उसके बाद? नहीं तो वो डिसीजन लेना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा।
देखिए, आप ये मान के चलें कि 12th का रिजल्ट निकलने में थोड़ा समय लगेगा। सबसे पहले हम क्राइटेरिया सर्कुलेट करेंगे, उसके बाद हम स्कूलों से डाटा अपलोड कराएंगे। मोर देन 14 लाख बच्चे हमारे पास हैं, हर बच्चा मिनिमम 5 सब्जेक्ट लेता है। प्रैक्टिकल के भी मार्क्स होते हैं, एक्टिविटीज प्रोजेक्ट्स के मार्क्स होते हैं, वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट के डिफरेंट तरीके से मार्किंग होती है, उसके मार्क्स होते हैं। तो मोर देन करोड़ एंड करोड़ डाटा होगा जो हमारे पास अपलोड होगा, वो स्कूल की कमेटी भी रिव्यू करेगी। फाइनली हमारी आईटी टीम, हमारी एग्जामिनेशन टीम उसको फाइनल करेगी। ये एक ऐसा निर्णय होगा जिसमें हमको 0 एरर रखनी होगी, अन्यथा बच्चों के साथ इनजस्टिस हो जाएगा। इसमें टाइम टेकिंग है ये, इसलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि कोई भी समय आज हम फिक्स करके डेट नहीं बता सकते हैं। इतना जरूर कहेंगे कि एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल, जितना शीघ्र हो सकेगा हम इसका रिजल्ट देंगे, और बच्चों के जो हायर इंस्टीट्यूशन या फॉरेन कंट्रीज या बाकी कहीं जहां एडमिशन प्रोसेस स्टार्ट होगी, उसके पहले बच्चों की मार्कशीट हम उनके हाथ में दे सकेंगे। ये मैं जरूर आपको क्लियर करना चाहूंगा। दूसरा, आपने जो प्रश्न किया कि इनकी परीक्षा जो असंतुष्ट होंगे वो कब लेंगे, तो पहले आप रिजल्ट निकलने दें। रिजल्ट निकलने के बाद हम पोर्टल ओपन करेंगे, जो बच्चे डिससेटिस्फाइड होंगे वो अप्लाई करेंगे और एक पर्टिकुलर डेट निकालेंगे, फिर वो ले सकेंगे। और वो तभी लेंगे जब कोविड की सिचुएशन बिल्कुल नॉर्मल होगी, बच्चों के स्वास्थ्य, सेफ्टी, सिक्योरिटी के लेकर के किसी तरह का कोई खतरा नहीं होगा और ऑल डिपार्टमेंट से हमें एनओसी मिलेगी। तब तक जो हमारा रिजल्ट होगा बच्चे उस पर भरोसा करें कि वो ठीक होगा और उससे वो अपने बाकी पढ़ाई, बाकी प्रोसेस को आगे बढ़ा सकेंगे।
मिस्टर त्रिपाठी, हमने इस समय और पिछले साल भी जब बातचीत की थी और इस बार तो जो नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है उसके आने के बाद और ये चर्चा बढ़ गई है कि क्या ये एकदम सही अपॉर्चुनिटी है हमारे लिए बड़ा बदलाव लाने की, कि अपना डिपेंडेंसी बोर्ड एग्जाम से कम करके हम एक और बेटर इवैल्यूएशन असेसमेंट प्रोग्राम देखें। तो क्या ये चीज़ अब जब दूसरे साल ये एग्जाम्स इम्पैक्ट हो चुके हैं उसके बाद सीबीएसई इसके बारे में सोचेगी?
बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न और बहुत अच्छा डिबेट का मुद्दा आपने उठाया। मुझे अच्छा लगा ये प्रश्न सुन करके, और आपके चैनल के माध्यम से जो भी लोग जिनकी रीच इस चैनल तक है, उनके पेरेंट्स, टीचर, प्रिंसिपल, स्टूडेंट, सबसे मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि अभी तक क्या होता रहा है केंद्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा बोर्ड में कि हम वर्ष में एक बार परीक्षा लेते हैं, 3 घंटे की परीक्षा लेते हैं। आप इमेजिन करिए कि बच्चा साल भर पढ़ाई करता है और 3 घंटे में हम पेपर लेते हैं। हो सकता है किसी कारण से वो बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस ना हो सकता तमाम सारे रीजन हो, इसलिए हमको तमाम सारे और पैरामीटर को भी एक्सप्लोर करना चाहिए। दूसरी चीज आपने जो प्रश्न किया है कि अभी ये जो पेपर होता है, पेन पेपर होता है, इसमें मेजॉरिटी ऐसी होती है जो रोट लर्निंग को बढ़ावा देती है कि बच्चों ने अपनी बुक्स को पढ़ा, उसकी मगिंग की, रट लिया और जा करके उन्होंने 3 घंटे में उसकी परफॉर्मेंस दे दी। रोट लर्निंग का जो तरीका सीखने का है, इससे कहीं भी बच्चों की क्रिएटिविटी या कम्युनिकेशन स्किल या प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, इन पर कभी भी ध्यान नहीं दे मिलता। तो बिल्कुल आपने सही ये जायज ठहराया है कि नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी इन पर गंभीरता से विचार करती है। नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी ने ये कहा है कि बच्चों का असेसमेंट 360 डिग्री रिव्यू के तहत होना चाहिए। मींस बच्चा सेल्फ असेस करे, पीयर असेसमेंट हो और टीचर या स्कूल असेस करे। ये तरीका सिर्फ 3 घंटे के पेपर से नहीं हो सकता, हमको बहुत सारे पैमाने देखने पड़ेंगे। हमको ये भी देखना पड़ेगा बच्चे प्रोजेक्ट में कितना इन्वॉल्व है, एक्टिविटीज में कितना इन्वॉल्व है, स्पोर्ट्स में कितना इन्वॉल्व है, आर्ट्स में कितना इन्वॉल्व है, बच्चों की जो स्किल्स है उसके बढ़ाने के और क्या क्या तरीके हो सकते हैं, हम किस तरीके से बच्चों की कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल, क्रिएटिविटी की स्किल, हम बच्चों की कोलैबोरेटिव स्किल, सोशल स्किल, लीडरशिप की स्किल, इनको कैसे डेवलप करें, क्योंकि 3 घंटे की परीक्षा में ये चीजें नहीं आ पाती हैं। बच्चा हो सकता है कि 100 में 100 मार्क्स ले ले, लेकिन कम्युनिकेशन में बहुत वीक हो, 100 में 100 लेने के बावजूद कोलैबोरेटिव ना हो, टॉप करने के बावजूद उसमें लीडरशिप ना हो, इट में भी। जबकि सोसाइटी में आज की डेट में, चाहे वो प्राइवेट कंपनीज हो, चाहे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसेज हो, चाहे वो बिजनेस हाउसेज हो, चाहे वो डिफरेंट एरिया हो, वहां 100 में 100 और टॉपर की डिमांड नहीं है। वहां डिमांड ऐसे बच्चे की है जो लीड कर सके, जो मैनेज कर सके, जो डिसीजन ले सके, जो प्रोग्रेसिव थॉट वाला हो, जिसकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल अच्छी हो, जो क्रिएटिव हो, जो जंप ले सके अपने स्टेटस पे। तो ऐसे स्किल्स के लिए लाने के लिए नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी विचार करती है। एजुकेशन पॉलिसी से हम लिंक उठाएं तो ये भी कहते हैं कि असेसमेंट के पैटर्न को धीरे धीरे एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग की तरफ, इंटरनल असेसमेंट की तरफ, मल्टी असेसमेंट की तरफ लेकर के बढ़े। तो एक अपॉर्चुनिटी हमारे सामने है। ये अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि किस तरह से असेसमेंट के क्राइटेरिया का जो प्लेटफॉर्म है उसको ब्रॉडर वे में लेकर के चले, मूल्यांकन के प्लेटफॉर्म को हम बढ़ाएं। और उसको बढ़ाने का जो सबसे अच्छा तरीका हो सकता है वो बच्चा जब इन्वॉल्व होगा, जिसको बोलते हैं पार्टिसिपेटिव लर्निंग, कि बच्चा जितना ज्यादा अपने सब्जेक्ट्स में, एक्टिविटी में, कॉन्सेप्ट्स में, टॉपिक में इन्वॉल्व होगा, जितना एक्सपीरियंशियल होगा, जितना लर्निंग बाय डूइंग मेथड पे होगा, जितना प्रोजेक्ट और एक्टिविटी में जाएगा, उतना ही असेसमेंट का तरीका ब्रॉडर और बेटर हुआ। तो आपने ये सही बोला और चैनल के माध्यम से यही कहूंगा कि हम लोग भी इस मुद्दे की तरफ बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और आने वाले 3, 4, 5 वर्षों में असेसमेंट का क्राइटेरिया इंटायरली डिफरेंट होगा और एक नए तरीके से बच्चों की स्किल का असेसमेंट शुरू होगा, जिसमें नॉलेज भी होगी और पर्सनालिटी टेस्टिंग भी होगी।
पर आप कह रहे हैं कि इसमें समय लगेगा, जैसे कि एनईपी में भी विजन है कि ग्रेजुअली करेंगे, उसको हम जल्द नहीं कर सकते, उसको अगले 1 साल में वो इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया जा सकता। त्रिपाठी जी, क्या मालूम ये कोविड का सिनेरियो कितने समय और चले?
देखिए, हम आपको ये बताना चाहेंगे कि हमने लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर ऐसे एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग की तरफ एंड कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड स्किल की तरफ स्किल एजुकेशन को लेकर के हमने 10% क्वेश्चंस लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर इंक्लूड किए थे। हम लोगों का टारगेट इस बार 20 to 30% क्वेश्चन इंक्लूड करने का था, जिससे बच्चों की कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड लर्निंग हो सके, स्किलिंग की जांच हो सके। अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो परीक्षा हम नहीं ले पाए, इसलिए हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि जो डिफरेंट तरीके हैं, क्योंकि बच्चा पूरे वर्ष भर स्कूल के पास होता है, उसकी क्लास टीचर, उसके सब्जेक्ट टीचर, उसके प्रिंसिपल, उसके पेरेंट बेटर जज होते हैं कि उनके बच्चे की स्किल किस दिशा में बढ़ रही है। उनके प्री बोर्ड, मिड टर्म, यूनिट टेस्ट, प्रीवियस रिजल्ट, इवन तमाम सारी स्कूल की को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज उस बच्चे को बेटर बताती हैं कि उसकी पर्सनालिटी कैसी जज हुई। एक मौका हमें मिला है और बिल्कुल आप सही करें कि इसमें समय लगेगा। अचानक रातों रात ये चीजें नहीं हो सकती। टीचर को भी ट्रेंड करना होगा, स्कूलों के इन्वायरमेंट को भी चेंज करना होगा, बच्चों और पेरेंट का जो माइंड सेट रोट लर्निंग को लेकर के है, कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम को मगिंग करके पास करने को लेकर के है, उस माइंड सेट को भी धीरे धीरे अवेयर करके चेंज करना होगा। ये टाइम टेकिंग होगा, बट हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि 4 to 5 ईयर में धीरे धीरे हमारी नई पीढ़ी उसको अडॉप्ट कर लेगी और रोट लर्निंग से एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग पर शिफ्ट कर जाएगी।
ऑल राइट मिस्टर त्रिपाठी, शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। उम्मीद है कि जल्द से जल्द आप वो डिटेल क्राइटेरिया लेके आ सके जिसका सारे स्टूडेंट्स को अभी इंतजार है। धन्यवाद आज हमसे जुड़ने के लिए।
थैंक यू मैम।
Well, let's move on and also say good evening to the rest of our panelists joining us right now as we turn our attention to what happens next. Dr. Renu Jain, Vice Chancellor for Devi Ahilya University in Indore, joins us this evening. Dr. Vijay Nanda, Acting Principal for Miranda House at in Delhi University. Dr. Hasnain, Natural Science Chair at the Indian Institute of Technology in Delhi, Distinguished Professor at Sharda University. He was the former Vice Chancellor of Hyderabad University as well. Dr. Snehalata Deshmukh, former Vice Chancellor for Mumbai University, joining us this evening as well. Dr. Deshmukh, let me start off with you. The conversation that we just had with Mr. Tripathi indicates that it will take time for CBSE to also come out with their criteria, and then it will take them further time to evaluate the results and give those mark sheets. So it's going to be a slow, long drawn process. So in that scenario, what will the colleges do? How will they devise their own admission criteria?
What Mr. Tripathi said, I agree with him, that now that the exams are cancelled, people have taken a decision that just now we will not hold the exam because the life of the child is more important to us than his career later on. If the life is not there, the career has no meaning. So it's a very wise decision. The main important thing is that now that we have taken a decision, what happens to the children? As far as the 12th is concerned, I don't have any problem. I don't foresee any problem because most of them are appearing for either medicine or engineering or law. There is always a CET, a NEET exam for medicine, a NEET exam for engineering, a CET for law. So all these children actually fall in the group of about 70%. The rest of the 30% who want to go for various other courses like BSc, BCom, they have already chosen the stream in the 11th standard only. So to them also, it is not very difficult. The problem remains of the admissions now. How do we give admission? About medicine and engineering, about management, there is no difficulty actually. Because every of these people have a CET. They have a CET, central examination, or NEET, national examination. So for the medicine, if they have to have admission in All India Institute, there is a separate examination for them. So what they need is 50% marks in 12th standard. And if we are assuring that they will get 50% marks, they can appear for the NEET, they can appear for the engineering various exams. The problem of the people who are going abroad for further education, they may have a difficulty if we don't give the results on time. So it would be the governor's prerogative to put a bar on saying that at present we are assuring that he has passed the 12th exam and that the various other examinations which he is appearing can be certainly taken care of.
Right.
This is what I feel. But I agree that the cancellation of the exam is a very wise step.
Yes, in fact, cancellation of exams is probably a much delayed step. We all knew what
Delay is
situation
there,
we were in a long
but
time
madam,
ago. But
delay was because of the unforeseen circumstances
no,
of
Doctor,
what
no,
COVID takes.
Dr. Deshmukh, I disagree with you. There were no unforeseen circumstances. These were exactly the circumstances we discussed last year. The whole world knew there could have been multiple waves. We just wanted to wait till 31st of May for some reason. I don't know why. Students and lakhs of students have gone through stress for months together. It may be a very small thing for us. It may even be a small thing for us to say, oh, just 20-30% students now will be applying for colleges, which is based on class 12 board exam results. But it is, it's a reality. And for those students, it has been a nightmare the last few months. This plan could have been ready much earlier. Dr. Hasnain, what options do these colleges now have? Even if they're told that the performance evaluation by CBSE for class 12 will be based on internal assessment or previous exam results, that could take a long time to come through. Will these colleges have to devise their own new setups then?
Thank you so much, Tanviji, for inviting me. And I really enjoyed the discussions that you had with Mr. Tripathi. And I fully agree with Ma'am Snehalata about what her views are on this. I think we are now looking at very, very difficult times that we are going through. All of us will agree, not only in India, but elsewhere, all over the world, thanks to COVID-19. So we have to think very, very differently. And I would like to call it as we have to think very disruptively. Whatever we do, we cannot simply change and take a decision depending on whatever we think is good today. We have to balance the factors, the various competing interests, the detailed interactions with us, all the stakeholders. And most importantly, we must bolster our systems of recognizing equivalence, which we today, unfortunately, do not have. There may be colleges in the country which are perhaps as good or better than colleges in Delhi University. But why is it that most students want to come and take admission in Delhi University? Because we have somehow rightly or wrongly conveyed that X is a better college. Having said this, I think we should also keep one more fact in mind, one more issue in mind. I won't say the word fact, one more issue in mind. We should, in my opinion, as a biologist, as somebody who works on COVID and the virus that causes COVID-19, we should anticipate COVID may continue for another 2-3 years.
Correct.
It may not be the end of COVID this year. Last year, in one of the forum, I mentioned the same thing. This is not the first year that we will face this problem. We may have this problem next year. And I must say with great caution, at the same time with great responsibility, that we should be mentally prepared to anticipate that COVID will continue. So what is it that we are looking at? If you look at the kinds of students that pass out of +2, whether it's state board administered or whether it's a CBSE administered or ICSE administered examination, you essentially have two classes of students. One class that is scholastically slightly better and is aiming to go into a professional program, a program such as the IITs, such as the medicine, and now the law is also emerging as a wonderful alternative to IITs and to engineering and to medicine. So this is one class of the students. The second class of students who are not too sure, they want to write the exams for the IAS, write for some central exams, or simply do a graduation and do commerce and do other things which will earn them a good livelihood. They may not be very inclined to take a professional. So the needs and the conditions for these class of students for admission into colleges will be very different. Let me take a slight tangent here. When a student applies to the US, many of my students have gone to the US. Now, of course, with COVID, more will go, but there was a stop in the number of students wanting to go to US because we were providing better quality education for a much smaller fee that you are paying. You know, when you go to the US, it doesn't matter which place you are from. They have their own exam depending on which program you want to go. And that exam is a computer-based exam. You can take it from your own room, from your own home. You don't have to go to a central place. So there's no question, yet the time is such that there's no way you can resort to unfair means. And the best part is these exams have very clear, I would say, silos where they look at your scholastic abilities. And Tripathi ji has rightly said, we also should look at our leadership qualities. And most importantly, in the US, what they look at is what are your innovative thinkings? How can you think very differently? Because it is these class of people who think very differently and have leadership skills will end up getting the Nobel Prize and end up getting the directors of the Bell Lab and becoming Bill Gates and others. So that is what I think we in India need to start thinking today. It may not happen tomorrow, but I think the need has come where we need to get away, as rightly mentioned by Tripathi ji, that rote learning has to come to a close now.
Right. No, you're right, Dr. Hasnain, but like Mr. Tripathi was also mentioning, and you're also saying, this is going to be an extremely elaborate process and will take time for universities to devise their own specific criteria to judge, students on their vision, on their thinking, capabilities as well. And I'm not too sure if any of the current universities are even thinking of coming up with such an admission process or a criteria. Dr. Renu Jain, let me ask you this question. Students from class 12th who would have usually come up and said, okay, I got 96%, 98%, 70%, or even 55%, and I'm applying for this. Those results, one, will obviously get delayed. Secondly, they won't be on the basis of board exams. They will now be on the, whatever criteria CBSE comes out with. In such a setup, how will colleges decide their admission criteria?
Actually, the history is repeating itself. We are again facing the same situation. Last year also, we had to meet this type of situation only when we had to decide on the merit basis only. So whatever merit they have generated, we also devised our own formula for admissions. For undergraduate courses, we considered 65% marks for 12th examination and 35% marks from their 10th examination. So on the basis of this, we prepared our own merit list. And for the undergraduate courses, we chopped out this formula. And for the PG courses, because luckily, fortunately, in our own university, most of the 80% of the examinations were over by that time. So our results were more or less more satisfying. So for the PG admissions, we took a slightly different formula. 65% for the BSc marks, 20% for 12th, and 15% for 10th. So overall, giving this, we evaluated a merit-based formula, and on that basis, we continued with the counseling of the students. This year again, as we know, the situation is that exam has been cancelled, and even if it was held, it was going to be delayed a lot. So this year we are going to enter the common entrance test, which is going to be held online. And we are expecting, if everything goes okay, then we will organize it in the last week of July this year. As we are getting the messages that COVID is being controlled now, but nobody knows what is going to happen, only God knows. So if the situations are better, then we'll conduct the common entrance test. Otherwise, because again, there is no criteria for deciding no proper criteria for deciding the merit of the student.
This is, sorry for the interruption, but this is the CUCET that you're referring to. This will be the central This common entrance test, you are referring to the Central University's entrance test or an entrance test that your university
it is common entrance test for Devi Ahilya University, which every year we conduct. But last year and even year before last, it was to be cancelled, and in last year it could not be held.
Correct.
Because of the COVID only. And this year we are expecting it that we should organize it in the last week of July.
Okay, so that is one option that some of the colleges can look at, and especially those who already have tried that in the past to come up with an entrance exam of their own. We were also looking at what Delhi University has, for example, been thinking, and I keep giving this example of Delhi University simply because that's one university that gets students from across the country. It doesn't just cater to those living in the national capital, but from across the country, students actually apply for the various colleges there. And so they are evaluating currently multiple options as of yesterday, even though this document is from before when the board exams were cancelled. But as of yesterday, the consideration was either to follow the CUCET results if that central entrance exam is held, to just give 100% weightage to that, or to split the weightage between CUCET and class 12 scores, however CBSE defines it. Or if this common entrance exam also doesn't take place, then simply go with the class 12th scores. But it is going to be tricky, isn't it, Dr. Nanda, whichever way we look at it, and especially students and parents are right now wondering for Delhi University, where cutoffs can even be 99.5 or 100%.
Yes. Can't hear you.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please, Dr. Nanda.
Yes. At the outset, I would say that these are unprecedented times, and the government of India has taken the right decision in cancelling the exams, and we should be grateful for that because of the mental health conditions of the young students who are waiting for the exams. So we are really grateful. As far as Delhi University is concerned, you know that it is a centralized kind of a decision on the university, and having said that, I think it is the criterion of the CBSE which will determine the merit for us, because CBSE is the leading board for Delhi University. I think about 96 to 98% of our students are from CBSE, and CBSE's criterion will decide for other boards as well. Keeping that in mind, I think once the decision is taken as to what are going to be the multi-pronged approach that they are going to be using in order to assess merit, Delhi University, of course, will follow suit. Our Vice Chancellor has made a commitment to be looking at merit. As far as the Central University's common entrance test is concerned, while Delhi University remains committed to that, the problem again is that of the COVID situation. How are these exams going to be held? And that becomes a problem for the larger context of holding of examinations. And keeping in mind that we are living under very, very difficult times and health is of primary concern, I think one has to wait and watch. And however difficult it is the young people who have been far more resilient than any one of us. So I think they have to respond to these times and to the kind of concerns that are being raised. And it is very difficult, but they will have to have what I think was mentioned earlier as a disruptive learning. So I think this is one thing that we are all going to learn. How are we going to cope? But what are the kind of ways in which we will be responding to these situations? Having said that, I think once the criterion is clear, Delhi University is going to be having a number of, I think, meetings which will be held with the academic council, with others, in order to come together with a more consensual understanding of what that merit will be, and then the story will unfold. As far as standardized tests are concerned, I am of the personal opinion that standardized tests are a good way of understanding merit, especially keeping in mind the national education policy. So if you're going to look at immersion learning, or if you are going to look at skill-based understanding, or if looking at the present context, you're looking at empathy training, or a commitment to society. These are also issues, or to environmental issues. How are you going to then plan the particular examination system that is going to be there? However, I see that as a long-term planning. The short-term planning for all of us here, as I hear from the Vice Chancellors and from the esteemed members here, also from the CBSE Secretary, who put it very well, that they are responding to these extraordinary times by thinking of it in a short-term manner and in a long-term manner. So in terms of a long-term manner, definitely standardized tests would be the way out. Definitely having a central university's common entrance test would be one way. And the other way would be to re-examine or look at rote learning and the other issues that we have had earlier. But right now, we are responding to a particular situation. And I know that these are challenging times and there are opportunities to learn. But keeping in mind the short-term goal, we have to now concentrate on understanding what that criterion of merit will be and how colleges will respond to that criterion of merit, so that relief is provided to students and they are not kept guessing.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, and before I bring in some of the youngsters and students as well, Dr. Nanda, again, and this is now for this year, because like you also said, there are many options to look at in a long-term scenario, but most of them can't be implemented this year itself. Would there be some amount of hesitation amongst colleges to simply go by, this new method of evaluation that will be decided, because a lot of it may depend on internal assessments and earlier internal exams that would have taken place? Will that become a bit of a thorny issue for the college admissions?
That question is to me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm losing a little bit of your voice there. Okay. So, yes, I don't think, continuous assessment is how I see it. And which is what the CBSE Secretary also pointed out. Having continuous assessment through an internal system where practical skills, understanding of leadership or understanding of collaboration, team building, engagement with immersion learning, if that is done well, looking at, the cultural context, examining understandings of empathetic leadership, if that is brought to the school curriculum and that is done through a continuous assessment.
No, correct. Sorry, if I may just come in here, what you're saying is exactly right, but that's for the future. I'm asking this year, when CBSE decides whatever that criteria is, it will be based on the assessment and performance of the students in the year gone by. A lot of it will be internal. Let me put it simply. A lot of people raise a concern that the schools just give you lenient marks. They're lenient in their marking system, in their pre-tests, and that cannot be a factor for colleges to judge for admission. I'm asking you if that is a legitimate concern.
Okay. Well, I think in some ways it can be a legitimate concern, but I would like to say that as a society and at a time like this, we should not have a deficit of trust. We should trust the system, the schools. They also do their jobs. There are teachers who are teaching them. There is continuous evaluation, and also there is a space that has been provided that wherever the student feels that the marks are not consistent with the performance that they have delivered, they can always ask for a retest or the methods that CBSE is going to be examining, will be providing them. So in that case, I think it is keeping in mind the kind of conditions we are in, keeping in mind the way teachers have made their commitment to online teaching, examining, I would like to believe that we should trust the system.
Yes.
And there should not be a deficit of trust. Teachers have been frontline workers at this stage, and schools have delivered very well. So I would say internal or external, we should believe and we should agree that these are our young people who are in the system, and a continuous evaluation or an internal assessment are more or less similar systems.
Okay.
However, there should be a method for student feedback, and that should be developed within the schools. If the schools are able to develop a student feedback system where no student, is left out or their grievances are dealt with, then I think it is fair and it should be trusted. And for the time being, this is what the best we can offer. And I would like to say that we will do well as we are, and when we learn a little better, we will do better. But at this stage, keeping in mind the exigencies of admissions, not just in Delhi University, but young students who want to go abroad, young students who are waiting for entrance tests, we should do which is there in their interest, which is their health and also keeping in mind their future.
Yes, and both have to be balanced at some point. It's not an easy task at all. There are no easy answers to the problems that we are looking at. Pranati Shreya and Aditya Bura join us this evening as well. Aditya, let me start off with you and then I'll go to Pranati as well. Tell me a little bit about your plans, Aditya. You know, beyond the pandemic, as far as your future is concerned, what were your plans post class 12th?
My plans post class 12 is I'm planning to do my bachelor's degree in psychology, and accordingly I'll proceed with that with my master's and stuff. But of course that has not been easy in the last year, like preparing for my examinations, for my entrances, and likewise. So yeah.
Entrance exams lined up for you, or were you largely dependent on your class 12 scores to get through a college of your choice? And then what's the biggest thing that's playing on your mind right now?
Right. Before, this examination was cancelled, of course, like every student, as far as I know, they were stressed about the examinations being conducted, whether their health would be safe or not. Now, some of the colleges that I've applied to, of course, they require my marks. They require me to perform well, right, above 90% and 95%, to be honest. And while some of the rest, they just want my entrance performance to be best, like as good as I can perform. So, yes.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to understand is now how would you want the CBSE to, define their criteria for evaluation for your class 12th and for the colleges that you were looking at? Will this be enough, or is there a big question mark on those admission processes as well?
Right. Coming to this, I've seen that CBSE is planning to, take into assessment the grades of class 9, 10, 11, and the 12 free boards and stuff, right? So that might be a problem because number one, students have to evolve. Like, they evolve as students, they evolve, the minds evolve with time. So, assessing them based on what they have performed back in class 9 or back in class 10 might not be correct. And yeah,
okay.
Whereas ISC, I think ISC is planning to, take in just class 11 and 12 marks. So that is still better than, what CBSE is planning to do, in my opinion.
Okay, let me ask Pranati as well. Pranati,
that is a big of a problem.
What are your plans now post class 12th, and how do they depend on your class 12 scores, if at all?
I'm already into my admission process for the undergraduation. Almost the top universities, especially in India, have started their process ignoring the class 12 marks. They have also introduced many new methods based on the entrance, even the group discussions, the micro presentation, and I have undergone the few steps of these universities, and I've gone through the process of it. So I got admission in 2 of these universities without my 12 marks, just with my talent and my entrance exams and my group discussion. I've got admission in 2 universities, and I'm still waiting for more universities to be confirming my results. And it is very difficult for the states, depending on class 12 marks for UG admission. Suppose if you take in Tamil Nadu, it is fully based on the 12 marks. So for those states, it will be a bit difficult for the further process.
So, and which is very interesting what you're saying right now, Pranati, because of course, for example, in Tamil Nadu, they are yet to take a decision on the board exams, whether they will postpone it further or cancel it. But what is this, what was the method used by the other universities where you've got admission? Maybe some of the others can also take a cue from it. There was a group discussion, personal interview. Was there an entrance exam in both these universities also?
Yes, I had a home proctor test, which means you have teachers. You will be supervising you in the online. You can't even swap a tab at all. So it gives you an indication that you are cheating. So I got those home proctored tests in my home, and micro presentation was given for 90 minutes. And group discussion also I have attended. So without these 12 marks, I have got admission in 2 universities.
Okay, very interesting. So do stay on with me, both of you youngsters, and if at any point you want to come in, do raise your hands. But Dr. Hasnain, interesting insights really coming in from 2 youngsters joining us from 2 different parts of the country. And both obviously finding their own ways with or without the class 12th exam results. But some of the options perhaps that the universities can look at this year, and I want to focus for now to begin with this year, because we don't have much time. We just have a few months now to decide on what should be the criteria for admissions this time. Next time or later can perhaps, of course, be an easier decision to make.
Good question. To be honest, I think this time we will have to simply do what I call is as educated guess. CBSE is going to come up with a grading system, with a system by which they will award some numbers or whatever, taking into average of the last 4-5 years, 3-4 years maybe. One of the thought that I had been thinking about is, the central universities of the country, there are about 40 of them. They have their, as rightly mentioned, CU set, Central Universities Common Entrance Test. I think similarly, we can think of state universities coming up with their own state universities entrance test. Not everybody can afford to come to Delhi to study, but there are equally good universities in the states. Likewise, there are many good private universities. So perhaps UGC can think about having a combined admission test, which is based online, the way your CLATs are done, the way CU set is done, the way NEET is done. So this could be one measure by which at least everybody can have an option to decide where they can go, and where you don't have to look at what marks you have secured. You are looking at how have you performed in these combined admission tests. Now, only one thing that one has to remember, we should not be contributing to the already existing digital divide. This was a term that I introduced about a year ago, that because of this problem, we are creating a lot of digital divide. As it is, we have social divides, communal divides, financial divide, economic divides in the society. A new kind of divide is a digital divide. Those who have access to high internet, access to state-of-art facilities, vis-a-vis those who live in the villages, tier 5 cities, or in the district Mufassal headquarters. What is it that you are going to offer them? And that is where I think a hybrid of our online education, something that Coursera and Upgrad provide, and they have been doing a reasonably good job. They have been providing education online where you can do it sitting from your home with whatever little access you can have. And at the same time, they give you degrees. And based on their performance, these 2 platforms that I'm talking about, the students who pass out of these programs, they actually get good, meaningful employment. So I think those of us who are looking at employment at the end of the day, after my career as a teaching is over, I think as a student is over, I would like to get a good employment. So I think these programs, so in a sense, you need to have a good hybrid of physical and virtual classroom. Physical classroom, I do not know when it will start.
Yes.
But virtual classroom, again, of the kind that universities are giving, but with a proviso that these virtual classrooms attendees will not be discriminated against compared to those who are coming up with a program offered by digital providers such as Upgrad or such as Coursera.
Okay, let me in fact also on this point bring in Dr. Deshmukh as well. Dr. Deshmukh, again we come back to the point about this year. What are the options available? For example, right now even the Maharashtra government has made their own recommendation to the Disaster Management Board, and then they will decide on whether to cancel exams or not. But do you think largely now most states should cancel the board exams? At least there be a standardized method to now judging the students.
Yes, definitely. The exams can be cancelled, but there should be a time limit to giving the results, because the students can't go on waiting for a long time. Their mental health also suffers. It has already suffered. because they were waiting all these days for the exam. And mental health is also very important. It's not only the physical health, but the mental health. The stresses and the strains in these COVID days are very detrimental to the children. And as we expect, the scientists and the doctors expect that the third wave that is very likely to come very early now will affect the mental health of the children, because it will affect the children, which it has not affected up till now. So we need to think as to how fast we can make these criteria and declare the results and allow the children to further their education.
Yes, and let me ask this question to Dr. Renu Jain as well. Dr. Jain, through the year, were there more conversations, your interactions with various stakeholders on whether we need to look at a long-term solution also? I mean, yes, COVID may end soon, but most probably it will not. So for next year as well, what should be our standardized method if online, even if multiple online exams or offline exams are not an option?
Actually, in any case, we have to follow the blended mode of teaching and learning, because either we have to, if the situation allows, then we have to go for the classroom teaching. Otherwise, we have to stick to this type of courses only. And in addition, we are having the courses on SWAYAM and MOOC courses are there. Our own university is also offering the courses on SWAYAM platform. And those students who are deprived of this digital networking, they can go there, they can approach those type of courses. And some of the very important and skill-based courses are there available on the SWAYAM courses. Last year, we launched a course on digital marketing. And all over the world, we are having more than 11,000 students showed interest in that. So this type of courses can provide an alternative resource for learning for the students. And as we are expecting that this year everything should go fine, then we can return to our students can return to classrooms. Otherwise, we will have to go for this online teaching only. As far as our UTDs are concerned, we have gone very well with this online teaching. And because most of the students are having, even if they are not having approach to internet, then the study material was provided to them on their mobile phones also. So mobiles are in everybody's approach. Every class can be contacted through their mobiles. So we can go for online as well as blended sort of learning and teaching we can think for.
Okay.
And in addition, these SWAYAM courses, and our basic purpose is to develop skills, and practically in this post-COVID situation, most of them have lost their employments also. The need for employment is being felt very urgently. So we have to concentrate on skill developing courses also. So our university, incidentally, it is a first state university in our Madhya Pradesh state, which is having A+ grade, which has been recently awarded A+ grade. So we are offering some very good skill-based courses also that can be, and they are very flexible also. We can have at any time you can start them or you can leave them also. So that is going to be the future of education, I suppose.
Yes, and I think more and more universities and colleges will have to start looking at more evolved processes for evaluating the students and then giving them admission. A big thank you to all of the panelists who've joined us right now. Thank you so much. Step number one, of course, wait and watch until the CBSE decides on what the evaluation process and criteria will be for class 12 students. Meanwhile, several students across other states are waiting to know whether their states will also cancel board exams. Many of the states have taken that decision, from Uttarakhand to Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are likely to do it in the next couple of days. States like Uttar Pradesh may take a little bit longer. States like Bihar have already conducted the exam, so it's a very different setup right now. The next big challenge will be for colleges. One, of course, those that hold entrance exams will probably end up, many of them have postponed their entrance exams already. They may have to push it to July. at least, and not before that. Otherwise, again, it becomes a big debating point. So entrance exams are being hit. College admissions based on class 12 scores have been hit. And this is the second year that this has happened to our students. Students who went through a tumultuous time in class 11th and now class 12th. 2 straight years of so much of anxiety and burden and uncertainty. And I think now our authorities and institutions from the CBSE to schools and colleges need to somehow look at a longer term plan. For those still in school, for those moving towards colleges, as to how we will go about this. Unprecedented times may just continue, and there may be more waves in future. We cannot function then with business as usual. And perhaps this would be a good time to overhaul the system. While Mr. Tripathi said it will take 4 to 5 years to bring about a new system to replace board exams, bring about a broad-based evaluation system, I think the time is now. I think we seriously need to start looking at it right away and use this opportunity to come up with better systems that judge students on an overall basis and not what they probably managed to just figure out in the last few months and then write down in a span of 3 hours. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.